Today I'm reviewing the Super Game Boy for Super Nintendo. I thought it would be something different since I watch a lot of reviews for video games and I haven't seen one yet on the Super Game Boy, so here we go. Let's take a look at the cartridge. This cartridge is something unheard of. I haven't seen this ever, really. The cartridge I can pretty much take. Let's put it next to a Super Nintendo cartridge. It's about 1.5 Super Nintendo cartridges, half of a cartridge taller from the normal Super Nintendo cartridge. And let's take a look at the Model 2 Super Nintendo while we're at it. This one has a couple features that were taken off of it. First of all, there's no eject button here, and then in the back of it, there's no connection for coaxial. So if you only had a coaxial input to your TV, you could not use this. This is too advanced, too super. Okay, let's take a look at the games that I brought out. I just selected a few to show you on the Super Game Boy. This first game is Mega Man for the Game Boy, Dr. Wily's Revenge. And it is compatible, but it makes up its own colors, so you can play it in color on the Super Game Boy. The Super Game Boy pretty much just put borders around their games, so they wouldn't start to pixelize because of the resolution of the TV. What they did was they started coming out with special color editions of certain games. Like this one's Miss Pac-Man. It also includes Super Pac-Man. This one is a Super Game Boy cartridge, which it brought its own unique style and border to the Super Game Boy. This next one is also a Super Game Boy game pack, and this is Arcade Classics 1, Asteroids and Missile Command. It has the classic format and also a little bit of an advanced format for the Game Boy. Now these next ones I actually don't know if they work, so we're going to test them out together. These next ones are actual Game Boy Color cartridges. As you can see, they're a little bit different. And it says Game Boy Color see-through. I'm not sure if you can see that. But this one's Spy vs. Spy and Dragon's Lair. I have those two for Game Boy Color. We'll pick up Mega Man first, and then we'll try out these other ones. Let's put this bad boy into the cartridge slot. There you go. Now you can finally see what I'm talking about. This is like a huge Game Boy for your TV. This is the menu for this. See? You just press L and R together, and you can pick your borders. Let's check out the borders. See? They're all just normal generic borders that they put on there for the games that don't have borders to play with, which I'll show you a couple that actually do have borders. There you go. Now, you can check out the button types. There are 2 types to choose from. There's paint. Which you can just mess around with the actual colors. You can have your own color scheme. That's white. You can change it to any color. There you go. kind of cool that you can switch your colors and stuff like that. But let's start. As you can see, there's only 4. We'll start with Cutman, so you guys can see the gameplay. That was me switching colors, because you can actually switch to the colors that you made or the colors that actually came with the cartridge. Well, it just shows you actually the colors are generic right now. As you can see that they're red and stuff like that. I mean, why would they pick red and orange and white for a Mega Man? I can't even see that. What the hell was that? I don't know what just happened, but I fell through stuff that I thought was floor, and it's actually just a space to fall through. Oh, that's where. And how do you get up there? How do you get up there from here? You don't. That's kind of like those prizes, those $20 bills at the edge of like those coin games that you always try to get it. I mean, look how hard this is. I guess I'm not really paying attention. I'm just doing this for the review of the Super Game Boy, but wow. Let's try it in this. I remember Mega Man as being one of the hardest games to play when I was a kid. Now, imagine playing this on this. God, I can't even see this. How the hell are you gonna look at this? I guess that's why everyone's eyes are so bad now. I know my eyes are. Well, anyway, back to the review. You're probably asking yourself right now, gee whiz, mister, why didn't you pick something else that wasn't as boring as this? Maybe a little bit more exciting? Let's see. No? I haven't seen this yet, and just maybe someone will actually find something else to do with this. I don't really play the original Nintendo Game Boy very much. I don't pick it up because I have a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Advance and a DS, so you don't really need to play the original one. So it actually looks a little bit better on a Game Boy Color. But anyway, this has turned into a review of Mega Man, so I'd have to cut it a little short this week. And next week I'll finish the review for the Super Game Boy, and I'll continue it with Miss Pac-Man and Asteroids and Missile Command, and we'll try out the Game Boy Color cartridges and see if they work out.